It's been 20 weeks of NFL action, 18 weeks of regular season, 2 weeks of playoffs, and finally in week 21, we will find out who the two best teams are in the NFL. Welcome to the Fumble Sports pregame show for the AFC and NFC Championship games. So excited to be talking to you today. We have a great day of football action ahead. We have also 2 hours of show ahead. So if you have questions about the games that are going to be played today, settle in, get comfortable. We're going to cover every angle of these two games, including every bet that can be made, every stat that we've got. We're going to throw everything, the kitchen sink at you over the next 2 hours. So settle in. For all you football fans, let us know your take on the games. And if you have questions, share them in the chat. But Fumble Sports will be live for the next 2 hours as we take you up to kickoff of the NFC Championship game between the 49ers and the Eagles. Welcome to Fumble Sports. If you're not a follower, make sure you hit that follow button. Fumble Sports loves talking sports. We put out a lot of content, but today we are only focused on NFL action. As I mentioned, we've gone 20 weeks of competitive play amongst a lot of teams, but today, Championship Sunday, we're going to find out who the two best teams are in the NFL. So excited to find out with the rest of you. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports. For all those who are new to the show, make sure you're hitting that like button. Every time we hit 2,000 likes, we'll do a quick poll. Those quick poll questions are either about a game pick that I like or a player prop bet that I like. You guys vote on the poll question, then I give my analysis afterwards. So every time we hit 2,000 likes, we'll do that. Going to give out all my picks today. Going to give out everything that you need. So settle in. Should be a lot of fun. And let us know where you're going to be watching from. Are you guys having parties? Are you guys throwing anything? So excited for all of you to watch some great NFL action. Now, we've had some line movement over the last few hours. So here are the most updated lines that I'm seeing. The Eagles right now are a 3-point favorite. The over-under in the 49ers-Eagles game is set at 45 points. That line has moved in favor of the Eagles. So again, the line moved from 2.5 to 3 in favor of the Eagles. The over-under stays at 45 points. Definitely something you want to watch. As for the AFC Championship game, the line movement for that Bengals-Chiefs has been absolutely incredible to watch over the last 6 days. Right now, the Chiefs are a 2-point favorite. The Chiefs haven't been favored by 2 points at any point this week until this morning. So if you really like the Bengals to cover, now's a great time to get them. Chiefs -2 right now is the spread. The over-under on the Chiefs and Bengals game is 48 points. So we've had a lot of line movement. If you guys want to know my picks on player prop bets, game picks, total plays, I'm here to give out all of that advice. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you're following Fumble Sports. Let's dive into the chat and answer your questions. Patrick Mahomes over/under passing yards. This has obviously been one that's been talked about a lot throughout the week. Early on in the week, the under was a very popular play on Patrick Mahomes' total passing yards. I'm going to the sports book that I use. I want to see what they're setting that line at right now. That way I can give you the most up-to-date information. So right now, Patrick Mahomes' total passing yard total that I'm seeing is at 282.5 passing yards. If you wanted the over, you'd have to pay a little extra at -120. Like always, I'm going to do my research right along with you guys so you know exactly how I'm coming up with the analysis that I am. I want to look at Patrick Mahomes' recent performances. Over the last couple of weeks, the last 2 weeks, he hasn't hit over the number that's set as the total today. Patrick Mahomes' playoff game log is the other thing I want to look at, how he's performed in playoff games over the course of his career. And in his career, he's averaging in the playoffs 298 passing yards per game. I'm going to take the over on Patrick Mahomes' total passing yards. I would take the over. The only reason for that, I actually think he's healthy enough to actually be dynamic in the pocket and beyond. So I actually like the over on Patrick Mahomes' total passing yards. NBA NFL Crazy asks, who you got in the 49ers and the Birds? I like the Eagles on the money line. But I love the 49ers to cover. I love that the spread has swelled towards the Eagles or swung towards the Eagles even more. So I would take Eagles on the money line. And right now, I would take the 49ers to cover +4.5 after I buy a 1.5. I want to make sure I'm on the better side of 4 points. So the fact that I can get 4.5 points in favor of the 49ers, I feel is a great play. Make sure you're following us. Hit that like button, hit that follow button. And if you want to get all of my picks, all of my analysis, all in one place, hit the link in our bio. Go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. On that website, sign up for the free newsletter. It comes out every week with all the picks that you need, but also a lot of blog content. I put out all my player prop bets for the 2 championship games on our website yesterday. So hit the link in our bio, go to buttfumblesports.com, check out our content, sign up for the free newsletter. Duffel bag, appreciate you supporting us. Okay, Jorge B82 asks, Ayuk over under 47.5 receiving yards. I would lean slightly towards the under on that, only because he's going to get paired up with Slay, one of the best cornerbacks in the league. I would tend to go under 47.5 receiving yards. If you told me Brandon Ayuk got a touchdown, I'd be less surprised than if you told me he got 50 receiving yards. Awesome UCE asks, Burrow or Hurts? Well, if you're talking about a DFS play, I really like Burrow today. I actually think Burrow is going to have the better game statistically. Something that's kind of being ignored throughout all the Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce injury talk is the Chiefs' defense simply isn't as good as the other defenses playing today. I know they have a good D-line, especially with Chris Jones and Frank Clark, but in the secondary, the Chiefs have been exposed this year in the past. I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Burrow has a good game through the air, so I would rather have Burrow over Hurts if I'm in a DFS situation. W. Brashear asks, A.J. Brown over under 71.5 receiving yards. I actually like the over on this one, and I'll tell you why. 49ers are great against the run, not nearly as good against the pass. I think Jalen Hurts and the Eagles offense is going to have to attack down the field. I love Devontae Smith today, but I also like A.J. Brown, so I would take A.J. Brown over 71.5 receiving yards. If you have questions about game picks, total plays, or player prop bets, or daily fantasy, we're here for all of it. Ask your questions in the chat. We'll get to all of them. Big Baller 28 asks, Brock Purdy over 1.5 passing touchdowns. So Big Baller 28, that was the player prop bet that I had been consistently putting in week after week. He hadn't missed that number until last week. Every start he had until last week, Brock Purdy had at least 2 passing touchdowns. This week, I'm not touching it. It's not that I don't think he could. It's that I'm really not crazy about it. I think Christian McCaffrey could get a touchdown, Deebo Samuel, but I both think those will be rushing touchdowns. I would avoid Brock Purdy total touchdown passes today. Something about it doesn't feel right. I could see him getting 2, but the fact that my uncertainty is as high as it is, I wouldn't put money down on it. Okay, Michael Pitts 32 asks, Hardman or Juju? Hardman reportedly is going to give it a go despite that pelvic injury that he's been dealing with for weeks. But even with that, upgraded status, I still like Juju Smith-Schuster more, Michael. I think he's the better play. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we hit 2,000 likes, we'll do our first quick poll. Again, that quick poll is related to a player prop bet that I like. But if you want to get all my player prop bets all in one place, hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website. Sign up for the free newsletter, and while you're there, check out our blogs, including our player prop bet plays. 653 Big says Chiefs 34, Bungles 30. Okay, I understand why you're going in that direction. Patrick Mahomes shutting up most of Cincinnati and their trash talk. But the one part of that bet that I really don't like is you have this going way over the total. I'm not as crazy. I like the under on both games today. I'm taking the under on both games today. It is one of the reasons I feel so good about certain things about the Bengals and the 49ers being able to cover, is I feel these games are going to be closer and not as high scoring as some people would like to believe. Lizard 2521, a loyal follower. Make sure you guys are following out there. Lizard asks, Smith, over 5 receptions has been hitting or pushing consistently. And that's exactly what I would say. When I did my research, I'm not crazy about it, but the fact that that's been a push at worst is actually the reason I would take it. I could see him hitting over that, but really I feel like 5 is actually a minimum for him. 4 would be a little too low. I think Sirianni and the Eagles offense is going to want to engage the wide receivers in a number of ways. Quick passes, slants, as well as deep downfield passes. So I do like Devontae Smith over 5 receptions today. Catfish 450 says Eagles defense drops to 22nd with pre-snap motion. 49ers first in pre-snap motion. I saw that stat on ESPN earlier this week. you're definitely going to get a lot of Christian McCaffrey, Deebo Samuel, George Kittle in motion, trying to confuse the Eagles' defense. The one concern I have about that is when you move those guys, is Brock Purdy making the right read? I think today is going to be the day we see Brock Purdy play like a rookie the most thus far this year. He's been so steady. He's really performed like a veteran. I think he's going to be challenged today. I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles threw some random looks at him as well, trying to confuse him. But I do think the 49ers are going to be really effective in moving guys pre-snap. I think that will help in the running game, but in the passing game, I still think the Eagles are going to be pretty strong. Jorge B82 with another question. Burrow over 277.5 passing yards or Mahomes over 282.5? I like Burrow over his total more. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports. Hit that follow button. Brown Hornet 43. He has San Fran on the money line for 5K period. Man, I'm hoping for your sake that hits. Brown Hornet, I'm not going in that direction, so maybe you want to put a slight hedge down on some of your bets. That said, if you like San Francisco on the money line, I would think you really like the under as well. Okay, JT151515 asks, what are 4 players that I would build a daily fantasy lineup around on DraftKings? We did put out a daily fantasy lineup. If you want to check that out on our Instagram account at Fumble Sports, or if you're watching right now on YouTube Live on our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports, you'll see that graphic up now. Certain players that I really like today in DFS, I think Isaiah Pacheco is going to have a really good day in the running game for the Chiefs. So Pacheco in the running game, I think, is a really good addition. I think Jamar Chase is going to have a monster game. I had to slot him in. I really like Devontae Smith as well as Deebo Samuel. Those are 4 players right there. But a 5th player that I really like, Hayden Hurst. So of the players I just named, the players I really like today, Isaiah Pacheco as a running back, Devontae Smith, Jamar Chase, Deebo Samuel at wide receiver, and I really like Hayden Hurst at the tight end position. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. We're almost up to 40,000 followers at Fumble Sports. Over the course of this year, we've grown an incredible rate. You guys are absolutely awesome. Appreciate all your support. Purdy and Hurst under 1.5 passing touchdowns. Oh, Hurts. I actually think Hurts has a better chance of going over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I could see Jalen Hurts having a touchdown to Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, and A.J. Brown. So I actually like Jalen Hurts over his passing touchdowns. Purdy, I don't feel as strong about. I just wouldn't put money down on it. Adam 94311 says Chase 2+ touchdowns. I'm sure you're getting great odds on it. I would only put a unit or half a unit down on it. I wouldn't put too much. Robert says Kansas City will win the game. I don't think you're necessarily wrong. I am taking Bengals to cover. Earlier in the week, I liked the Cincinnati Bengals on the money line, but the trash talk coming out of Cincinnati definitely has me concerned. I never want Patrick Mahomes or Chris Jones to have more motivation than a Super Bowl on the line. And the fact that they have been insulted by the mayor of Cincinnati and the fans of Cincinnati, I think Kansas City is out for quote-unquote revenge, not just for last year, but for some of the trash talk this week. It's hard for me to bet against Kansas City. Therefore, I'm not necessarily taking a money line play in that one, but I do like Cincinnati to cover after I buy a 1.5, get Cincinnati plus 3.5. Make sure you're following us, and we've hit 2,000 likes, so let's get to that first quick poll of the day. Again, for those joining us, every time we hit a 2,000 like benchmark, we'll put out a quick poll. You guys vote, and then once we do the poll, I'll give my analysis. So our first poll question of the day is, which quarterback will have more passing yards? Which quarterback will have more passing yards? Keep in mind, I'm going to give you the odds as well. So which quarterback will have more passing yards? Brock Purdy plus 150 or Jalen Hurts minus 200. One more time before we vote on this. Which quarterback will have more passing yards? Brock Purdy plus 150 or Jalen Hurts minus 200. Let's do this quick poll now. Doing our first quick poll of the day. You guys vote. Once the results come in, I'll give my analysis. Our first quick poll question: which quarterback will have more passing yards in the NFC Championship game? Brock Purdy plus 150, hit the smiley face. Jalen Hurts minus 200, hit the crying face. So Brock Purdy, smiling face, Jalen Hurts, crying face. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Brock Purdy at plus 150 hit the smiling face. Jalen Hurts at minus 200 hit the crying face. So Brock Purdy, smiling face, Jalen Hurts, crying face. Again, I'm giving that with odds. Brock Purdy plus 150, Jalen Hurts minus 200. This is a close vote. What do you guys think? Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Smiley face, Brock Purdy plus 150. Crying face, Jalen Hurts minus 200. Final few seconds of this poll. Let us know what you guys think. And by the last vote on the last second, it goes to Jalen Hurts 15-14. A great vote. Glad you guys participated in that one. I like Jalen Hurts. I know Brock Purdy has played well in his stint as starter for the 49ers, but I actually think because the running game of the Eagles is going to be limited, because the 49ers defense, it's going to force Jalen Hurts to have to throw more. I like Jalen Hurts minus 200 going over, having more passing yards than Brock Purdy. If you like doing that poll, make sure you hit that like button. Let's get up to 4,000 likes. We'll do it again with another poll question. And of course, make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. If you go to our YouTube channel right now, Fumble Sports, you'll see this broadcast live, as well as our graphics, our daily fantasy lineup, and our player prop bets on the screen. DTHR 331919 asks, Hurts over 242 passing yards. I actually do like that. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a pretty good game through the air. LJ Mafioso asks, over under 48 for the Bengals game. I like the under in both of these games. I think both games are going to be competitive, a bit lower scoring than a lot of people may think. So I like the under in both games today. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. And of course, once again, once we get to 4,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll question. Does A.J. Brown score today? I did put half a unit down on him getting an anytime touchdown. I feel like Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert, and A.J. Brown could all get touchdowns today. I don't feel nearly as good about Miles Sanders finding the end zone or Boston Scott. I like Jalen Hurts on a rushing touchdown, but I also like the receivers, both wide receivers and a tight end. So I do think A.J. Brown finding the end zone is good for half or one unit. I wouldn't put more than that down on it. So Brandon brings up a great point. 49ers are 7-0 in their last 7 playoff games on the road. I understand that stat. It's a great trend. The only reason that I'm going away from it today is simply because I think that the Eagles are one of the better, more complete teams that they've played over the last few years. Defensively especially. I know we love to talk about Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown, but this Eagles defense I don't think is getting enough respect. We've talked a lot this week about how good the 49ers defense is. The Eagles defense is outstanding at all 3 levels. They're really fast to the ball. They're not good in the running game, but in the pass game, they're really strong. So I actually think the 49ers are going to have a lot more on their hands. I do like Eagles on the money line today. Luke asks, A.J. Brown over 4.5 receptions. I would put a unit down on that. I don't feel great about it. I could see him ending at 4, but I would go with the over on that just slightly, Luke. Appreciate all of you joining us. We're getting closer to 4,000 likes. Once we do, we'll do another quick poll, so make sure you're hitting that like button. The smart guy says, Eagles gave up 40, 36, 34 to Dallas, Washington, and Detroit 20 plus 7 times this year. I totally understand that. I think this is different simply because, one, Brock Purdy, I think, is going to show the rookie qualities of his game today. I think the preparation, I think the Eagles have gotten better defensively throughout the course of the year. So I know they gave up a lot of yards and points to Cooper Rush. That was a long time ago, and it has a lot to do with injuries. The Eagles are pretty healthy on the defensive side of the ball going into this one. Vontae Maddox is the only player that's notably hurt on the defensive side. So I really like the Eagles today. In part 2, I understand they may struggle with the running game. I think they're going to be good against the pass. I'm not as crazy about George Kittle as I've been in past weeks, and I'm really not as crazy about Brandon Ayuk going up against Big Game Slay. Jorge B82 asks, Devontae Smith over 65.5 receiving yards. Yep, I like that. I like both of the overs on those, Jorge. So we just hit over 4,000 likes. So let's do another quick poll question. Before we do, make sure you're hitting that like button. And of course, make sure you're following us. By the way, whether you agree with my take or not, we love hearing from you guys, so make sure you share and engage with us. I'm not saying I'm always right, but we do our research to try to come up with the best analysis possible. Would love to hear takes from you. Okay, with that said, let's get to another quick poll question. Our next quick poll question is going to be about the running backs today. Which running back will have more rushing yards? Which running back will have more rushing yards? Smiley face Christian McCaffrey, crying face Miles Sanders. One more time before we vote. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face Christian McCaffrey, crying face Miles Sanders. Doing this quick poll question, let us know your vote. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face Christian McCaffrey, crying face Miles Sanders. Let us know what you guys think. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow But Fumble Sports. Hit that follow button. Doing a quick poll question because we hit 4,000 likes. Smiley face Christian McCaffrey, crying face Miles Sanders. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Mike Warden says y'all are sleeping on Miles Sanders. We know who he's voting for. Which running back do you think is going to have the most rushing yards today? Will it be Christian McCaffrey? If so, hit the smiley face. If you think Miles Sanders, hit the crying face. Appreciate all of you joining us. Let us know what you guys think on this quick poll. Final seconds. Christian McCaffrey smiling face, Miles Sanders crying face. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? And this one wasn't as close as our first poll. You guys have Christian McCaffrey being the more successful running back. I agree with you. One of the player prop bets that I love today is Christian McCaffrey over 61.5 rushing yards. I love that player prop bet. It's probably one of my favorites of the day. Christian McCaffrey over 61.5 total rushing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. Love that play. If you want to get all of my player prop bets all in one place, hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, butfumblesports.com. We put out blogs about our favorite player prop bets. But while you're there, also sign up for the newsletter. That comes out every week with all of my picks all in one place. Make sure you sign up for the newsletter. Zach61 asks Christian McCaffrey, receiving, rushing, passing total, pass touchdowns over. Okay, I agree. If I could combine rushing and receiving yards total, I like that as well. And as for total touchdowns, I love Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. Two of my favorite bets today are Christian McCaffrey over his rushing yards total and Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. I feel like those are two cash tickets waiting to happen. I understand Christian McCaffrey is limited today. I'm not too worried about it. I'm not worried about any player who's really injured in this game. I think every player that's been listed as injured is going to go out and play. They may be limited. They're still going to be battling for a full 60 minutes in my estimation. Andrew T. David asks Pacheco over 51 rushing yards. I love that play today. Isaiah Pacheco over 51.5 rushing yards. I got it at 50.5 yesterday, but that said, I love Isaiah Pacheco over his rushing yard total. It's a great play today. Good job, Andrew. Kevin Mosley asks, Eagles 3 running backs share the work. I think that's right. It's part of the reason I'm not crazy about Miles Sanders today. I do think that the Eagles are going to have to share the ball a little bit in the backfield to try to have an effective running game. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumble Sports. And again, now once we hit 2,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. Or we'll even cut to the chase. If anyone donates a football, that's our live goal. If any of you give a football, we'll do a quick poll right away. Jorge B82 asks Pacheco over 48.5 rushing yards. Love that play, Jorge. Love it. Brandon asks, how about McCaffrey over under 64 rushing yards? Brandon, I love it. Okay, duffel bag. You just gave us another football, so we'll do another quick poll. That's how we're going to do it today. We're going to have you guys drive the content. So, doing another quick poll because you guys just voted on it, or duffel bag just afforded it for all of you guys. So, our next quick poll question, which tight end will have more receiving yards today? The next quick poll question we're going to do, which tight end will have more receiving yards today? If you think it's Travis Kelce, hit the smiling face. If you think it's George Kittle, hit the crying face. Doing our next poll question, which tight end will have more receiving yards today? Smiley face for Travis Kelce, crying face for George Kittle. Which tight end will have more receiving yards today? Now, keep in mind, Travis Kelce has been listed as injured with the back. He is expected to play. but which tight end will have more receiving yards today? Smiley face for Travis Kelce, crying face for George Kittle. Let us know what you guys think. And thank you, Duffel Bag, for the gift. Make sure you're following us. Hit that follow button at Fumble Sports. Our poll question right now, which tight end will have more receiving yards today? Smiley face Travis Kelce, crying face George Kittle. Kittle starting to make a bit of a push late in this poll. Which tight end will have more receiving yards? Smiley face Travis Kelce, crying face George Kittle. We're doing this poll because Duffel Bag gave a gift. Appreciate all of you joining us. Final few seconds. And just by a couple of votes, you guys say it's going to be Travis Kelce. I agree with you. Even with the back injury, I like Travis Kelce today on two different plays. I like Travis Kelce over his receiving yards. I got that at 76.5. I think that may be a little high, but I still like it. I'll take Travis Kelce over his receiving yards total. I also like Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. I know he's got the back injury. I'm not worried about it. I know this may sound insensitive, but I'm sure they'll shoot it up with painkiller and he'll be out there playing. It's just how NFL football is this time of year. Again, if you want me to answer your question right away, give a small gift. I'll jump right to it. But other than that, I'm just scrolling through the chat trying to answer everyone's question. Dennis asks, what do you think the final score would be in the Eagles-49ers game? I think it's going to be a closer game than people think. I'm going to go with 24-20. I like that score, or 23-20, 24-21, but I'm kind of living in that range right there. So I do think that the Eagles score 3 touchdowns. So I will say 24-21, 24-20. That's where I'm living in that. So again, that means the under would hit. I know you'd be sweating it, but I think the under is going to hit in that game. But I do like Eagles on the money line, and I like the 49ers to cover plus 4.5. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. If you want to get all of my player prop bets all in one place, hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can see on some blogs that we wrote all the player prop bets that we like. The smart guy wrote, Kittle going to be open a lot because Ayuk and Debo is going to be double covered. I don't necessarily think so. I think you could see, obviously, I think Debo is going to get a lot of coverage. I think Ayuk could be one-on-one with Slay, which is just a bad matchup for him. Fit Dre 2.0, who's a loyal follower, writes in their teaser thoughts. Teaser, Eagles +3, love it. Philly, 49ers over 39. I like that as well. Cincinnati +8, love it. Cincinnati, Kansas City over 42. I like that teaser play, Fit Dre 2.0. I like it. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Andrew T. David, Kittle over 3.5 receptions. I'm not putting any money down on that. I'm kind of worried about it. I could see him getting to 4, but I think you're living a little dangerously because I could see it only being 3. So part of me wants to avoid it. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. J Monty 10, best 5-man play. So if that's for a DFS, the 5 players that I like the most, Burrow is the quarterback I like the most today. Pacheco is the running back that I like most. Of the wide receivers, I am going to go with Jamar Chase would probably be my favorite. My favorite tight end would be Hayden Hurst. And the defense I probably like the most is the Eagles. I'm not crazy about it. I don't think there's any defense that I'm really crazy about, but the Eagles would probably be the one I'd lean towards. Yoon 72476 asks, Mixon over under 58 rushing yards. I'm going to say over. I actually think that the running game of the Bengals is going to be effective. I also like Samaje P. Ryan. I saw his over rushing yards total at like 15.5, 16.5. I like the over on that. I think Mixon and Samaje P. Ryan both hit their overs. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We will do another quick poll at either 6,000 likes, or if someone gives us another football, we're trying to hit our live goal. Iron City Mike 34 asks, 49ers +7, Cincinnati +7. Love both of those, Iron City Mike. Love both of those plays and appreciate the follow. Jay Ivan Patel asks, favorite plays today. Okay, let's get to some of my favorite player prop bets of the day. Again, you can catch all of those on our website. The link is in our bio, but I'll give some of them out now. when it comes to the early game, the NFC Championship game, Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown. I love that play. Christian McCaffrey has a touchdown in 8 straight weeks, whether it's rushing or receiving. So Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown. I got that at minus 132 earlier in the week and been sitting on it. I love Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. The next player prop bet that I like is Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown. I got that at plus 125. Jalen Hurts has a rushing touchdown in 6 of his last 8 games. So I like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I'm getting that at plus 125. He has a rushing touchdown in 6 of his last 8 games. Another player prop bet that I like in the NFC Championship game is Devontae Smith over 5.5 receptions. A couple people have asked about that earlier. I love that play. Devontae Smith over 5.5 receptions. I got that at plus 120. He has 6 or more receptions in 4 straight games. Given how good the 49ers are against the run, I think the passing game of the Eagles is going to be critical. So Devontae Smith over 5.5 receptions, getting that at plus 120. Love that play today. Again, if you want to get all of my player prop bets all in one place, hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. We have 2 blogs that have all of our player prop bets. But also, if you want to get all of our picks each week, make sure you subscribe to our newsletter. It's free. Sign up for the free newsletter on our website. That comes out every week with all of our game picks, total plays, and player prop bets all in one place. So make sure you hit that newsletter. Andrew T. David, Burrow, plus 1.5 passing touchdowns. I like it. Pacheco, over 50.5 rushing yards. I like it. P. Ryan, over rushing yards total. I like it. Jamar Chase, touchdown. Andrew T. David, that is a wonderful parlay. I love it. Great play. Love that one. Okay, Sylvester 8. Eagles plus 7.5. I like it. Eagles over 19.5. I think you're going to be sweating that one, but I do like it. I do think they'll get to 20 points. And 49ers over 12.5. Sylvester, I like all those plays. That's a good parlay. I like it. Jorge B82, Kelce over 78.5 receiving yards rather. I put that bet down earlier in the week. I do like the over on that one. I don't feel as good about it right now as I did earlier, but I still believe that the Chiefs are going to rely so heavily on him. So I will take Travis Kelce over his receiving yards total. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So RKO asks, Bengals straight up. I did take Bengals on the money line. That was earlier in the week. I don't feel great about it right now, really because Cincinnati's trash talk is kind of getting in my head. I hate teams that hand out bulletin board material before a big game. But if I had to take a money line play, I would go with the Bengals. They're the better team. And most importantly, they're the better team. The Bengals defense isn't getting enough respect. The Bengals defense has actually played pretty well over the last couple of months. I think the Bengals defense is going to play pretty well today. Also, we saw if you limit Travis Kelce just a little bit, the Chiefs aren't nearly as dynamic on offense as they've been in the years past. So I do like Bengals on the money line today. Andrew T. David, a follow-up on that parlay that I sent earlier. Is there any leg I should replace for Christian McCaffrey touchdown or Devontae Adams? No, I wouldn't. If you want to add to it or you want to make a separate one, I really like the parlay that you had created. So I wouldn't want to swap any out for some of the parlay plays that I like. As much as I like those, I would say either build a new one or build on top of that other one with these. But make sure you have a couple different picks. By the way, I want to make sure I put this out there. We do a lot of sports betting content. For all of those who do this, be smart with your money. Parlays is how Vegas makes a lot of money off of you. So if you're going to do parlays, also put money down on individual bets, on single bets. So for example, if you like that parlay with a Christian McCaffrey touchdown or Devontae Smith receiving yards or receptions, make sure you're not just putting them in parlays, but you're also taking them on individual tickets, because a parlay that goes 4 for 5, that gets you nothing. A day in which you got 4 parlay bets correct out of 5, you're going to cash pretty well. You're going to have money in your pocket. So don't just bet parlays. Also put money down on individual bets, because otherwise Vegas is going to be cashing a lot of your money. Tyler93 asks, how did the Bengals talk trash First of all, they've been calling it Burrowhead for the last week. Second of all, the Cincinnati mayor made a proclamation or a declaration in which he wants to have the paternity test done to see whether Joe Burrow is Patrick Mahomes' daddy. Now, he's since come out and apologized for that, but I think the Cincinnati Bengals and their fan base is talking way too much smack for a team and an organization that's never won a Super Bowl and is facing Patrick Mahomes. I don't care if Patrick Mahomes has an ankle injury. Patrick Mahomes is a dangerous player. He's at home. So the Bengals trash talk has me a little bit concerned. Yoon 72476 asks, Hurst over 34 receiving yards. I actually kind of like that. I'm not putting money down myself, but I think Hayden Hurst is going to have a surprisingly good game in this one. I like his receptions more than I like his receiving yards, but I do like Hayden Hurst today. And if you are playing daily fantasy, I think Hayden Hurst is a good play at the tight end position. Alex asks, A.J. Brown touchdown. I do think that's a good play. I like his receiving yards more, but anytime touchdown for A.J. Brown, I would put a unit down on it. Make sure you're following us. Hit that follow button at Fumble Sports. Fumble Sports has been a company the entire NFL season, and we're excited to go forward into the future. We're closing in on 40,000 followers on TikTok. Make sure you're one of them. Hit that follow button at Fumble Sports. Okay, El Sylvester 8 says, I parlayed those three with Bengals. Plus 10.5, love it. Cincinnati over 17.5, I like that as well. Chiefs over 17.5, be wary of that one. Be wary of that one. I think they'll go over, but be wary. 17.5, I think the Chiefs are going to have a tougher time on offense than people think. So I understand why the odds are plus 203. I wouldn't be surprised. I think the Chiefs will get to 20 points, but I think you'll be sweating it a bit more than you'd expect. Okay, Andrew T. David. Purdy over 10 rushing yards, could have gotten at 7 earlier this week, but didn't want to risk that. Yeah, it's a bit tough. I'm not crazy about it, simply because that's not a huge part of his game. Let me look to his game log stats. I'm kind of curious to know what he's been getting consistently. So Brock Purdy, man, he's only hit over 10 rushing yards once, and that was against the Seahawks. I'm not crazy about that play. Given how much pre-snap motion there's going to be, so many running calls already, I'm not crazy about Brock Purdy over 10.5 rushing yards. Okay, Zerdilva asks, Mahomes over 2 passing touchdowns. I do think he's going to hit that. And Kelce anytime touchdown. I think Kelce anytime touchdown is a good play. I got Travis Kelce anytime touchdown at even money earlier this week. I bet your odds are even better probably now that he's had the injury to his back. So I do like Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we hit 6,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. Again, those poll questions are related to player prop bets that I like. You guys vote, then I give my analysis once the results come in. Debo over rushing yards total. Andrew, I do like that play as well. So Debo Samuel over rushing yards total. I got that at over 20.5 rushing yards. I love that play. If you want to get all of my player prop bets all in one place, hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for our free newsletter, as well as check out our blogs. We put out 2 blogs yesterday with all of our player prop bets. One of those is Debo Samuel over 20.5 rushing yards. I got that at minus 115. Just given how important the running game is going to be to the 49ers and how they'll use Debo Samuel, I expect him to hit that over. Okay, Fit Dre 2.0, A.J. Brown and Jamar Chase. 2 anytime touchdowns. You're getting that at plus 6,075. Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. I could see Jamar Chase getting it. I actually don't think A.J. Brown is as good a play for it. But that said, for 1 unit that you could put down on that, not a terrible play. Sylvester over 16.5 for both the Kansas City Chiefs and Bengals. Oh, I love it. Sylvester, if you're getting over 16.5 total points by each team, I love that play, Sylvester. That's a good play. Make sure you're hitting that like button. Once we get to 6,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. And of course, make sure you're following us on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter at ButtFumbleSports. On TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at SportsFumble on Twitter. For those watching on YouTube, if you have questions, you absolutely can submit them. We still get them. G-Man on YouTube says Eagles -3. I don't feel nearly as good about that one. I would take Eagles on the money line, but I would take the 49ers at +4.5. I wouldn't take Eagles on the spread for reasons I just don't feel great about it. One of the reasons, I really like the kicking game of the 49ers more than I like it of the Eagles. I think Robbie Gould is actually probably the most clutch kicker playing today in either game. So for that reason, I like Eagles on the money line. I like the 49ers +4.5 after I buy a 1.5. That's how I would play it, G-Man. Appreciate you watching on YouTube. Andrew 3X asks, Hurts, over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I actually like that one, Andrew. By the way, I also really like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. Rushing touchdown for Jalen Hurts is one I like. You also ask A.J. Brown over 5 receptions. I'm not as crazy about that one. I actually would probably avoid it. I think 4 is probably closer to happening. I can understand 5, but the fact that my confidence level is so low on that, I would avoid A.J. Brown receptions. I like anytime touchdown, and I like over total receiving yards more. Brendan Foley asks, how do I feel about Mixon over 55.5 rushing yards? I actually love that play. I think the running games for both the Chiefs and the Bengals is going to be better than people expect. I love Isaiah Pacheco over rushing yards total, and I really like Joe Mixon over his rushing yards total. Another one to keep an eye on, Samaje Perine. I think he could hit his over rushing yards total as well. Raymond Rader says 49ers and Chiefs on the money line. We're going in opposite directions, so I actually am taking Eagles on the money line, and if I had to, I probably would take Bengals on the money line. I don't feel great about it. I think the Chiefs absolutely could win. I really prefer the Bengals on the cover play, but I'm not crazy about 49ers Chiefs money line play today. Nathan Walder wrote, choked at every big moment. Eagles going to suffer same fate as Phillies and Philly Union. So Nathan is clearly a big believer in Philadelphia right now. He thinks that they're going to be climbing poles to create destruction rather than in celebration. But I actually think the Eagles are going to win today. And the reason I say that, this game is so balanced. I actually think the NFC Championship game is one of the best games that we've seen in years. Two teams that are so evenly matched. There are only two kind of advantages for either side. For the 49ers, I think they have an advantage in coaching. I think Kyle Shanahan is a better coach than Nick Sirianni, so I do kind of prefer the head coach there. But where the advantage favors the Eagles is at the quarterback position. Brock Purdy has been outstanding, but Jalen Hurts is the better quarterback. I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a better game, and for that reason, I do like Jalen Hurts and the Eagles winning today. So 3 Bengals O-line starters out today. I do think Chris Jones is going to have a good game. By the way, Frank Clark is climbing up the stats for most sacks in playoff history, so something to keep an eye on. But I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals are actually just a better team, not just on offense. Not enough people are talking about the Cincinnati defense. I think the Bengals are going to play well defensively. I think they're not going to give up as many yards and points as people think. So I think the Bengals are going to win this game. Patter hold 3, Gainwell over 19 total yards. Yeah, I actually kind of like that play in part. Actually, I take that back. I'm not as crazy about it. The 49ers are good against the run. I wouldn't touch Gainwell today. Sorry, I had a brain fart. Fit Dre 2.0, Perine over receiving yards. I wouldn't touch his receiving yards. If I were going to play Perine, I'd go with over his total rushing yards. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. We just hit 6,000 likes, so we will do another quick poll. Appreciate all of you guys supporting us and hitting that like button. Our next poll question that we're going to do is about 2 quarterbacks going at it today. Which quarterback will have more passing touchdowns? Again, which quarterback will have more passing touchdowns? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Mahomes. One more time for those out there. Which quarterback will have more passing touchdowns? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Let's do that quick poll now. What do you guys think? Which quarterback will have more passing touchdowns today? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. You guys vote. Once the voting concludes, I'll give my analysis and my pick. Which quarterback will have more passing touchdowns today? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Make sure you guys vote. Doing a quick poll because we hit 6,000 likes. Which quarterback will have more passing touchdowns today? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Again, which quarterback will have more passing touchdowns? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Make sure you guys vote. We're doing this quick poll because we hit 6,000 likes. Every time we hit another 2,000 likes, we do a quick poll. This poll question, which quarterback will have more passing touchdowns? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Final few seconds, and you guys think it's going to be Joe Burrow. I agree with you, and the reason I feel that way, not just because Patrick Mahomes is limited because of that ankle, but I actually think, one, I think the defense of the Bengals is going to be better than that of the Chiefs. But second, I think that Isaiah Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon could both get rushing touchdowns today for the Chiefs. So for that reason, I do like Joe Burrow. Again, a player prop bet that I like, I haven't mentioned this one yet, is Jerick McKinnon anytime touchdown. I got that at plus 160. Again, that's Jerick McKinnon anytime touchdown. I got that at plus 160. McKinnon has a touchdown in 6 of his last 7 games. Again, that's Jerick McKinnon anytime touchdown, plus 160. He has a touchdown in 6 of his last 7 games. I'm getting that at plus 160, Jerick McKinnon anytime touchdown. Appreciate all of you joining us. If we hit 8,000 likes or someone gives us a gift of a football as we try to hit our live goal, we'll do another quick poll. So that's how we get to our next quick poll question. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And hit the link in our bio. It takes you to our website. We're putting out content all the time, blogs, as well as a lot of different takes and gambling picks. So make sure you go to our website, sign up for the free newsletter. That way you get a pick you get our picks every week. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports. Appreciate that gift, Logan. Jorge B82 asks, Chase over 84.5 receiving yards. Jorge, I feel that's really high, and I still like it. I'll take Jamar Chase over his total receiving yards, but that's not my favorite player prop bet involving Jamar Chase. The player prop bet that I like most for Jamar Chase is anytime touchdown. That's Jamar Chase anytime touchdown. I'm getting that at minus 110. Again, if you want to get all my player prop bets all in one place, hit the link in our bio. It takes you to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for our free newsletter and check out our blogs. Bengals on the money line. Logan, that is where I'm going today. I'm going with Bengals on the money line. Appreciate your support and appreciate the gift. JT151515 says, funny, Mahomes has a high ankle sprain, 4 to 6 week injury, and he's cured in 2 days. Amazing what doctors can do in a playoff week. Isn't it incredible the difference between a regular season game and a playoff game in terms of how a player can get back on the field? Funny how that is. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. If you have questions about game picks, total plays, or player prop bets, we're here for all of it. We'll do another quick poll question in a second because we're about to hit 8,000 likes. So user 422N asks, Devontae Smith over under 5 receptions. So glad you asked that. That's one of my favorite player prop bets of the day, actually, is Devontae Smith over 5.5 receptions. The reason for that, Devontae Smith has 6 or more receptions in 4 straight games. That's 6 or more receptions in 4 straight games for Devontae Smith. So I love Devontae Smith over 5.5 receptions. I got that at plus 120. So I do love that play. Okay, we just hit 8,000 likes because you guys are freaking incredible. So appreciate all your support. Let's do another quick poll question. Our next quick poll question will be about 2 running backs going at it today. So our next quick poll question about 2 running backs today. Here's our quick poll question. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Now keep in mind, I'm going to give you 2 options that will come with odds, so you want to keep the odds in mind. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Isaiah Pacheco plus 182, plus 120. Isaiah Pacheco plus 120. And again, make sure you're spelling Isaiah Pacheco's name correct there. Which running back will have more rushing yards? Smiley face for Isaiah Pacheco, plus 120. Crying face for Joe Mixon, minus 160. One more time to make sure you guys know the quick poll question. Which running back will have more rushing yards? Smiley face for Isaiah Pacheco, plus 120. or crying face for Joe Mixon, minus 160. Let's do that quick poll question now. Again, which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face for Pacheco, plus 120. Crying face for Mixon, minus 160. This is a close vote. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face Pacheco, plus 120. Crying face Joe Mixon, minus 160. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter. This quick poll question, because we hit 8,000 likes. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face Pacheco, plus 120. Crying face Mixon, minus 160. Which running back will have more rushing yards today? Smiley face Pacheco, plus 120. Crying face Joe Mixon, minus 160. Final seconds of this vote. We are tied right now, so get your vote in. Smiley face Pacheco, crying face Mixon. Final second, and wow, okay, at the very end, Pacheco comes out ahead. I don't necessarily like Pacheco over Mixon for total rushing yards. I like Joe Mixon to have more rushing yards, but that said, I do like Pacheco to hit over his personal total rushing yards. I like both of these running backs to hit their total rushing yards today. So the play I love is Joe Mixon, minus 160 to have more rushing yards than Pacheco, but I do like Pacheco over 50.5 total rushing yards. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And of course, hit the link in our bio, takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for our free newsletter. It comes out every week with all of our game picks, total plays, and player prop bets all in one place. So hit the link in our bio, buttfumblesports.com, and sign up for that free newsletter. Okay, we got someone saying Chiefs taking it all today. I don't think so. I have the Bengals on the money line. Andrew T. David, my Pacheco odds is minus 114. Well, then I love it. I do love Pacheco today. I think he's going to have a good game. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Okay, Noah Turtle asks, you've probably answered this already, but who do you like winning today? Okay, I'm going to give you my pick right now, so make sure you're listening. For the NFC Championship game, kicking off in about 70 minutes, I love Eagles on the money line. I like San Francisco to cover plus 4.5 after I buy a 1.5. And I like under 46.5 points after I buy a 1.5. So one more time, the Fumble Sports pick for the NFC Championship game is Eagles on the money line, 49ers plus 4.5, and the under 46.5. Now for the AFC Championship game, the Fumble Sports pick for the AFC Championship game is Cincinnati plus 3.5 after I buy the 1.5, and under 49.5 after I buy a 1.5. So again, the Fumble Sports pick for the AFC Championship game is Cincinnati plus 3.5 and under 49.5. Excuse me. In a random question, what do I think about LeBron getting fouled? If you want to hear my rant on LeBron getting fouled, check out our videos on our TikTok or our YouTube channel. I put out a video last night about LeBron getting fouled. So while we won't talk NBA on this show, if you want to hear my rant about that game and that foul, make sure you go to our YouTube channel, Fumble Sports, or just go to our videos on TikTok and you can hear my rant. And again, if you want to hear my rant on anything related to sports, make sure you're following us at buttfumblesports.com. Later today, after each game, I will put out a rant video about all 4 teams playing today. So if you want to hear my reaction and my thoughts on what went down today in the NFC and AFC Championship games, make sure you're following Fumble Sports. Check out our rant video later. That'll be posted on TikTok as well as on YouTube. Appreciate all of you joining us. By the way, Jeremy, appreciate the support. I'm more than happy to have people disagree with me. What I really care about is providing you guys information. That's why we put out our newsletter every week. That's why we put out so many of our game notes. Whether you agree with me and you want to tail me, or you don't agree and you want to fade me, I'm fine with that either way. But I want to make sure you guys at home are smarter and more prepared to make your bets. So whether you agree with my pick or not, I hope you're getting information. That way you're making smarter plays for yourself and hopefully cashing a lot of tickets. Matt asks, NFC Championship game pick, you have San Francisco on the money line. I'm going with Eagles on the money line. I love San Francisco to cover plus 4.5, but I do like Eagles on the money line. Okay, Alex asks Deebo Samuel over 77.5 rushing plus receiving yards. I'm going to lean slightly towards the over on that. I'm not crazy about it. I much prefer Deebo Samuel over his rushing yards total. But if to answer your question, if I had to go over rushing plus receiving yards, I would take the over 77.5. Dennis asks, why don't you like the player prop bet Gainwell over 7 receiving yards? Gainwell's just not someone who's on my radar this week. Given how much money I'm betting, Gainwell isn't someone I like. 49ers are really good against the run. I understand that he could be involved in the passing game, but Gainwell just doesn't have my attention. So if I don't like a play, I'm not going to put money on it. I'm not burning cash that I don't feel I have confidence in. Raiders 061, Jalen Hurts rushing yards total. I'm curious to know what you're seeing his rushing yards total at. I'm curious to know what it's going off at. I love Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown, but let me check his line for what my sports book, the sports book that I use, has his total rushing yards at. Let's see. So they have Jalen Hurts total rushing yards. Wow, they don't even have it. Wow, my sports book doesn't even have Jalen Hurts rushing yards total on the board. That tells you how fearful they are about that one. Duffel bag, 44.5. Duffel bag and Raiders, I like the under in both of these games. So I hope we see a lot of good offense, but I like the under in both of these games today. Make sure you're following at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. So you guys have been amazing about hitting that like button and giving us gifts. Every time we hit another 2,000 likes, we will do another quick poll. Or if someone gives us a football, helps us get towards our live goal, we will do another quick poll as well. Matt, you ask, what's our favorite player prop bet of the day? I love Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. That's probably my favorite bet in the San Francisco-Philadelphia game. That's Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown. I love that play. In the Chiefs-Bengals game, I'd either say Jamar Chase anytime touchdown, or I would say Isaiah Pacheco over 50.5 total rushing yards. Those are my two favorite bets from the AFC Championship game. So we just hit another 10,000 likes. So let's do another quick poll question because we hit another 2,000 like benchmark. Every time we do, we'll do another quick poll question. Our next quick poll question will be about 2 defensive players today. So this one's a bit of a brain teaser for some of you out there because it's not offensively based. But here's our next quick poll question. Which player will have more sacks today? Again, our next poll question, which player will have more sacks today? Smiley face Nick Bosa, crying face Chris Jones. Again, which defensive player will have more sacks today? Smiley face Nick Bosa, crying face Chris Jones. Let's do this quick poll question. Let us know what you guys think. Smiley face Nick Bosa, crying face Chris Jones. Which player will have more sacks today? Let us know. Doing a quick poll question because we hit 10,000 likes. Which defensive player will have more sacks today? Smiley face Nick Bosa, crying face Chris Jones. Let us know what you guys think. These guys were 2 of the best defensive players of the year, leading in sacks. So which player will have more sacks today? Smiley face Nick Bosa, crying face Chris Jones. Let us know what you guys think. I expect this to be a close poll, so make sure you get your votes in. Smiley face Nick Bosa, crying face Chris Jones. Let us know what you guys think. Smiling face Nick Bosa, crying face Chris Jones. Which defensive player will have more sacks today? Which defensive player will have more sacks today? You guys are leaning towards Nick Bosa. I'm going to go in the other direction. I actually think the offensive line of the Eagles is going to stand strong against Bosa, but Chris Jones against a couple of backups on the on the Bengals offensive line, I think Chris Jones and Frank Clark could have good games. So I like Chris Jones to have more sacks than Nick Bosa today. I appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And we're, again, 1 hour away of kickoff from the NFC Championship game, so we have another 60 minutes left of our show. Make sure you're following us. make sure you're sharing the channel as well. If you have football fans in your family, friend group, or co-workers, make sure you're sharing Butt Fumble Sports with others. Let others know that we're here talking football for another 60 minutes. Yoon72 asks, Hurts over 1.5 passing touchdowns. I like that play today, Yoon. User 618 brings up Hassan Reddick. I agree with you. Hassan Reddick has been on fire of late. I could see him having a good game as well. If you've got questions about the games today, make sure you're throwing them in the chat. They can be about game picks, total plays, or player prop bets. Or if you want to give your pick, I'm more than happy to share your pick with our audience. So let us know what you guys think. Raiders 061 asks Jalen Hurts over 48.5 total rushing yards. Let me check his game log stats. I want to make sure I'm getting this right. So Jalen Hurts over rushing yards total. I'm going to go with under 48.5 rushing yards. One, the 49ers are good against the run. And two, Jalen Hurts in his last 2 games has gone under his rushing yards total. I'm going to expect he goes under today again. I think he will take advantage of running opportunities, but I don't think he'll get as many yards as 48.5 seems a little high to me. Cards by BMAC, Purdy, Super Bowl MVP. Let's just put it this way. If the 49ers get to the Super Bowl and the 49ers win it, it's going to be pretty hard for the NFL not to give it to Purdy, simply from a marketing standpoint. It would be such a great story. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Make sure you're also going to our website. Hit the link in our bio. It takes you to our website. Sign up for our free newsletter. You can get all of our picks all in one place. That's a free newsletter. It comes out every week. Make sure you're going to our website. The link is in the bio. If you're watching on TikTok, if you're watching on YouTube, the link is in the description section. So make sure you're hitting that link, going to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. That way you get all of our picks as well as all of our gambling trends and game notes in one place. So whether you agree with my picks or not, you get all of this information that we put together for you all in one place. It'll make you smarter. It's free to sign up for. That's buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. All of our game notes, gambling trends, and picks all in one place. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at Butt Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. If you have questions about today's games, make sure you're throwing them in the chat. We're going to be live for another 58 minutes. That way you get all of your questions answered. That could be about daily fantasy, could be about game picks, everything you need. I want to give a big shout out to the entire Butt Fumble Sports team, as well as the Butt Fumble Sports community. You guys have been incredible over the last 20 plus weeks. We've added 40,000 followers on TikTok since we launched as a network. Appreciate all the support that you guys have shown us. Make sure you're a part of this incredible community. Sign up to subscribe on YouTube as well as on TikTok. Make sure you're following us at Butt Fumble Sports. If you subscribe, we'll be doing a lot of exclusive things, a lot of giveaways, a lot of opportunities to engage with us. So make sure you're a subscriber. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. If you have questions, make sure you're sharing them in the chat. I'm going to go through some of my analysis now, so make sure you're listening. Some gambling trends for you about the NFC Championship game. The favorite is 7-3 against the spread in the last 10 meetings between the 49ers and the Eagles. The 49ers are 5-0 against the spread in their last 5 playoff games and are 4-0 against the spread versus a team with a winning record in their last 4 games. But the Eagles are 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 playoff games. Meanwhile, when it comes to the total play, the under has a lot of strong trends in its direction for that NFC Championship game. The under is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings between San Francisco and Philadelphia. The under is 7-0 in the 49ers' last 7 playoff road games. And the under is 4-1 in the Eagles' last 5 games overall. I love the under in that game. I think the under in the Eagles 49ers is one of my favorite plays of the day. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Butt Fumble Sports. Again, if you want to get all of the gambling trends that I just gave out, make sure you go to our website, sign up for the free newsletter. Those kind of gambling trends and game notes we give out every week to help you get smarter and make good bets. Raiders 061 asks, who on the Eagles is more likely to score an anytime touchdown? I love Devontae. Who's probably the best play? It's actually probably Jalen Hurts. He's probably the best anytime touchdown play. Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown is a player prop bet that I took and put out there this week. I got that at plus 125. I like that play. I could also see Dallas Goedert getting an anytime touchdown, as well as Devontae Smith. I'll put a half unit down on A.J. Brown, but I feel better about the others. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and hit that like button. Once we hit 12,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll question, so keep hitting that like button. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Now, let me give out some gambling trends for the AFC Championship game. The AFC Championship game gambling trends. The Bengals are 5-1 against the spread in their last 6 meetings against the Chiefs. The Bengals are also 6-1 against the spread in their last 8 games in January. The Chiefs are just 2-8-1 against the spread in their last 11 games overall. And the Chiefs are 0-5 against the spread versus a team with a winning record. Again, the Chiefs are 0-5 in their last 5 games against the spread versus a team with a winning record. One of the reasons I do like the Bengals to cover today. As for the total play in the AFC Championship game, the under is 5-1 in the last 6 meetings between these two teams in Kansas City. The under is 5-0 in the Bengals' last 5 playoff road games. And the under is 6-1 in the Chiefs' last 7 home games. So just like the NFC Championship game, I love the under in the AFC Championship game. I think the under are strong plays in both of these games. Actually, in both of these games, I really like the underdog to cover, and I love the underplay. Raider 061, so appreciate your support. Make sure you're following, make sure you're subscribing. Appreciate the support you guys show us. We do all this research to hopefully make you guys a lot of money. Black Jesus 421, if you're betting on the winner or spread of KC versus Kansas City, you aren't playing smart. Okay, Black Jesus, I'll take your word for it. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Guam Boy 209, Eagles covering. I'm not as crazy about that. I like Eagles on the money line. I like San Francisco plus 4.5. Appreciate all of you guys joining us again. Once we hit 12,000 likes, or one of you guys gives us the gift of a football as we try to hit our live goal, we will do another quick poll question. So those are the 2 ways we can jump to a quick poll question right away, either 12,000 likes or the gift of a football. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. If you want to get all of my gambling notes all in one place, whether it's gambling trends or game notes, make sure you hit the link in our bio, sign up for that free newsletter at buttfumblesports.com. Speaking of game notes, let's give you some game notes. The Bengals 8-2 against the spread on the road this year. The Chiefs just 1-7-1 against the spread at home. In the past 10 postseason games, the road favorite is 3-8-2 against the spread. One of the reasons that the spread swung so dramatically from Bengals to Chiefs over the last few days, Vegas knows they don't want to make Patrick Mahomes an underdog. Patrick Mahomes as an underdog has been absolutely outstanding, but no longer an underdog. I really like Joe Burrow. I think the Vegas swinging and the odds swinging in the direction that it has is a good bet on Burrow today. Getting in some sports rants. Sports Talk Wades asks, what do I think of Stetson Bennett being arrested? So Stetson Bennett was arrested for being intoxicated earlier today in Dallas. What are my thoughts on it? I think Stetson Bennett is an idiot. And the reason I say that, he has everything going for him. First of all, he's an absolute god in the state of Georgia. I don't know what you're doing in Texas, I guess preparing for the draft. But that said, you've accomplished everything in your college career, but now you go back to the bottom of the totem pole, the bottom of the food chain if you're Stetson Bennett. You need to have a great combine. Stetson Bennett right now is being projected as a 3rd, 4th round pick in the NFL draft. This absolutely will affect his draft status and where I think teams would select him. This is a 25-year-old quarterback prospect. Remind you of anyone like Brandon Weeden? There are already going to be red flags. The fact that he just got drunk and had an off-the-field issue looks bad. Stetson Bennett, I don't understand, too. If you're drunk, just be in private. Just be in a place where you're not going to get, seen by the cops. So Stetson Bennett, really stupid move. I don't think it has any effect on Georgia or anything like that. I think it just impacts his draft status. And I'm not crazy about him anyways. If I were an NFL team, I wouldn't draft Stetson Bennett, but this is just a sign. from a head standpoint, the guy might know football, but this was one dumb decision. I think he will still get drafted. It will probably be like a 6th round, 7th round pick. I think the way we evaluate quarterbacks will be challenged this draft season because of what Brock Purdy is doing. I think people are going to look more towards the makeup of a player rather than kind of their like bio of, oh, he's 6'4", or he's got a big arm. I think they're going to look for certain other qualities. But Stetson Bennett, you have everything to lose right now. You have an NFL career to lose. You've already gained so much from your college career, but that's behind you. If you want to earn an NFL career, you need to be on your best behavior. You need to be improving by the day. Really disappointing to hear about that from Stetson Bennett. Yeah, apparently like Mama said, nothing good happens that early in the morning. So if you're drunk at 6 in the morning, I don't know what you're doing out. Andrew, that's very funny. TCU defense couldn't get him, so the cops did. I don't necessarily think that's the case. I think he was looking for trouble. By the way, if you want to hear my rants on everything around sports, make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. I put out a lot of rant videos, whether it's LeBron James getting fouled last night, Stetson Bennett getting drunk, or my reactions to the games today. So if you want to hear my rants on sports, make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. We put out a lot of rant content. Okay, Raiders 061. I took Kansas City, Cincinnati over 38 on a teaser. I do like that play. On a teaser play, I do like the over 38. It's the under 49.5 that I like when it comes to that AFC Championship game. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, supporting us, following us. You guys are absolutely awesome. Okay, Nikki Sammies asks, who you like for the first touchdown in today's game? Okay, the first thing I'm going to say is I hate first touchdown plays. I feel like that is like making a 30-game parlay. It is lighting your money on fire and hoping Vegas puts it out for you. I don't think they will. So I don't like first touchdown plays. I'll just say that. That said, if I had to take a first touchdown play, I would either say Jalen Hurts or Christian McCaffrey in the NFC Championship game. So either Christian McCaffrey or Jalen Hurts. Those would be the two that I like for a first touchdown in the NFC Championship game. In the AFC Championship game, it's a lot harder for me. I'd either say Jamar Chase or Pacheco. I also could see McKinnon. I could see Kelce. So I really don't like first touchdown plays. You're hearing part of the reason. First touchdown plays is really such a long shot bet. Don't feel like it's worth the squeeze. Andrew 3X asks, because Elijah Mitchell is ruled out, Deebo Samuel over rushing yards total. I love his rushing yards total no matter what. I think Deebo Samuel over rushing yards total is one of my favorite player prop bets today. I got that earlier in the week at 20.5. You're saying you're seeing it at 22.5. I still love that play. Again, that's Deebo Samuel over his rushing yards total. I love that player prop bet today. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Dylan Reese 286, you're a loyal follower. Appreciate your support. You ask Travis Kelce 2 touchdowns. I'm not crazy about it, but crazier things have happened simply because Travis Kelce in the playoffs has been so outstanding. I like Travis Kelce anytime touchdown. 2 touchdowns, maybe half a unit down on it because you're getting good odds, but it still feels like too long a long shot for me. Okay, Dennis asks, will Purdy play differently on the road? And will he show being a true rookie? I think so. So I think Brock Purdy will play well. I don't think he's going to play great. I think he's going to throw an interception. I think he's going to have a tough time with some of his decision making. It's not just being on the road. This is the best defense that he's played all year. I know the Cowboys claim to have a really good defense, but in reality, they had some injuries in the secondary. If you eliminate Micah Parsons as a pass rusher, they're not nearly as dynamic. Trent Williams did an amazing job last week. The Eagles are a better defense on all 3 phases, so I think it's going to be a tougher game for Purdy. I do think he struggles a bit. Again, the reason I'm going with the Eagles today is actually that advantage at quarterback. I think the 49ers have an advantage at coach. I think Shanahan's the better head coach, but the Eagles have the better quarterback. I would prefer to take the better quarterback 9 times out of 10, so I'm going to go with Jalen Hurts today. Andrew T. David, I don't really know how I feel about Samaje Perine over 17.5. Andrew, if that's over rushing yards total, I love over for P. Ryan rushing yards. I think Pacheco, P. Ryan, Joe Mixon, I think the running game for the Chiefs and the Bengals is going to be better than people think. So I do like P. Ryan over 17.5 rushing yards. I wouldn't touch his receiving yards, though. Mo, a loyal follower and subscriber, appreciate your support, Mo. You say Eagles going to smash today. I think so. I think Eagles on the money line is a great play. Dylan Reese asks Bengals or Chiefs. So I have Bengals on the spread. I have Bengals plus 3.5. I've been taking Bengals on the money line throughout the week. I don't feel as good about it this morning as I did earlier in the week. Part of that is Mahomes is getting healthier, but also it's a lot of the trash talk I'm hearing from Cincinnati. It's giving me a lot of hesitation. I don't like that. I don't like Patrick Mahomes being an underdog or feeling like he's got an emotional edge. But that said, if I had to put a money line down play on it, I would take Bengals on the money line. I think Cincinnati's the better team. Part of the reason I feel that way, their defense isn't getting enough focus and attention. The Chiefs' defense isn't good outside of their D-line, where I really like the Cincinnati Bengals defense. Vasquez 113 asks McCaffrey receptions or receiving yards. Vasquez, I prefer his receiving yards total. I like McCaffrey over his receiving yards total more than I like receptions. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, following us, subscribing. Make sure you check out our website, buttfumblesports.com. There's a link in the bio of our TikTok account. Make sure you hit that link. It takes you right to our website. Sign up for the free newsletter. In that newsletter, you get all of my picks all in one place. The game picks, total plays, and player prop bets, as well as my game notes and gambling trends. So all the research that I do throughout the week, you get it in one free newsletter. That way, whether you agree with me or disagree, you get all of this information delivered right into your email inbox. And that way, you're ready to cash some tickets. Make sure you're sharing your questions with us. We have about 45 minutes left before kickoff of this Eagles-49ers NFC Championship game. So make sure you're throwing in your questions. And again, we've just hit 12,000 likes because you guys are awesome and just an amazing fan base. So we appreciate you. So let's do another quick poll question because we just hit 12,000 likes. For those who are just joining us, we put out a poll question. You guys vote. And then after the results come in, I'll give my pick and my analysis. So our next poll question, we have a couple fun ones now. Okay, the next poll question. In the NFC Championship game, will a defensive or special teams touchdown be scored? In the NFC Championship game, will a special teams or defensive touchdown be scored? Smiley face if you think yes, plus 245. Crying face if you think no, minus 130. One more time, I want to make sure you guys hear the question and the odds that go with it. In the NFC Championship game, will a special teams or defensive touchdown be scored? Smiley face is for yes, plus 245. Crying face is for no, minus 350. Let's do this quick poll. So in the NFC Championship game, will a special teams or defensive touchdown be scored? Smiley face for yes, plus 245. Crying face for no, minus 350. Let us know what you guys think. In the NFC Championship game, will a special teams or defensive touchdown be scored? Smiley face if you think yes, plus 245. Crying face if you think no, minus 350. Make sure, by the way, it's the right crying face, Zerdilva. You got to have the right crying face to get the vote in. Smiley face, yes, plus 245. Crying face, no, minus 350. Will there be a special teams or defensive touchdown scored in the NFC Championship game? Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you're following us at ButtFumble Sports. Not a lot of votes on this one. Clearly, you guys weren't a fan of this poll question, so we'll avoid these in the future. You guys are going to say yes. You guys like the odds. Yes, plus 245. I'm not crazy about it. I don't think a defensive touchdown will be scored in that game, but I love that you guys think so. It makes it a lot more fun. Part of the reason I don't actually like a defensive or special teams touchdown scored in the NFC Championship game is I think the under is going to hit. If obviously that touchdown happens, that means the under is definitely in jeopardy. So I like the under in the NFC Championship game. One of the reasons I'm avoiding, I would take no, minus 350. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and Twitter, and at Sports Fumble on YouTube. Sorry, I screwed that up. At Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. And again, hit that link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. You get all of our research all in one place, as well as the picks. So make sure you're hitting that follow button. And of course, make sure you're subscribing on our website. Andrew T. David, do you like Deebo Samuel over 30.5 rushing yards? So obviously, I got it at much better odds. I got it at 20.5 earlier this week. I do like it. I'm not crazy about it, but I do think he's going to have 35 rushing yards. We have about 40 minutes left before kickoff of the NFC Championship game. Make sure you're getting your votes in or your questions in. Dylan Reese, 286, over 43.5 total points in the Eagles 49ers game. Wow, that's going to be really tight. I would buy the 1.5. Dylan, I would buy the 1.5 and get that up. I don't feel great about that. I think you're right on the line because my score pick in that game is like 24-21, 24-20. So as you can hear, I'm living right on the line of 43, 44 points. So I'd want to buy it up. I don't think these teams will get to 45 points. I do think they may get to 44. Hurts, over 50 rushing yards. Dylan, I don't like that one either. I like Jalen Hurts anytime touchdown. I don't like Jalen Hurts over rushing yards. I like the under. We Dem Cowboys suck, LOL. We will be doing a live where you can join us later today. We will not be doing it now. We're just answering questions now. But by the way, I appreciate you asking. We will absolutely have other people join us. Make sure you're following and subscribing. That way you know every time we go live. We will be doing lives this week in which we're going to have a lot of interaction from you guys. We want to be able to talk and interact. We are looking for on-air talent as well. So we're absolutely going to have you guys join the show. C. Shanks 15, Deebo anytime touchdown. I actually think that's a good play. Not as much as I like Christian McCaffrey anytime touchdown, but I do like Deebo Samuel as well, C. Shank 15. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Appreciate all the support you guys show us. Keep hitting that like button. Once we hit 14,000 likes, we will do another quick poll question. Or if you want to jump right to it right now, just give us the gift of a football as we try to hit our live goal. 5 footballs. We have 2 so far. So if you want to do the quick poll question right away, give us the gift of that football. Otherwise, hit that like button. Once we hit 14,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. Dylan, I do like Kittle anytime. Football. Otherwise, hit that. You guys are the best. Giving out some stats about today's game. The 49ers averaged 26.5 points per game. The Eagles 28.5 points per game. That would suggest that you're living right around that 44.5 total play. But when it comes to how these defenses play, the under is a much stronger play. 49ers best defense in the NFL, allowing just 16.3 points per game. Eagles aren't too far behind, allowing just 20.2 points per game. Andrew, if I were to put Kittle anytime touchdown, I would put 1 unit down on it. I would only put 1 unit down on it. But yeah, I would put a unit down on it. Appreciate all the support you guys are showing us. Once we get to 14,000 likes, we'll do another quick poll. Himothy Him Jr., Joe Burrow over under half a passing yard. I don't know what... Over under half a passing yard? Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Appreciate all you guys joining us. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. If you have, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube live right now, appreciate you guys watching. Make sure you follow and subscribe. Thank you for the football. Thank you for the football. And because we got that football, we will do our quick poll. Thank you, awesome UCE. Appreciate the football. Appreciate that. So let's get to our quick poll question because we got that gift. So our next quick poll question. Who will have more receiving yards in the game this afternoon in the AFC Championship game? Who will have more receiving yards? Smiley face for Jamar Chase, crying face for Travis Kelce. One more time. Who will have more receiving yards today? Smiley face Jamar Chase, crying face Travis Kelce. Let us know what you guys think. Who will have more receiving yards today? Smiley face Jamar Chase, crying face Travis Kelce. Let us know what you guys think in this quick poll. Thank you, Awesome, for letting us do this quick poll because you voted on it. You gave us that gift. So, which receiver will have more receiving yards today? Smiley face Jamar Chase, crying face Travis Kelce. Let us know what you guys think. Smiley face Jamar Chase, crying face Travis Kelce. Which receiver will have more receiving yards today? Smiley face Jamar Chase, crying face Travis Kelce. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports. We're doing a quick poll question. Which receiver will have more receiving yards today? Smiley face Jamar Chase, crying face Travis Kelce. Final few seconds of this vote. Smiley face Chase, crying face Kelce. Who's going to have more receiving yards? You guys are going with Jamar Chase. I'm going to agree with you. I think Jamar Chase is the better play. I do like Travis Kelce to have over 76.5 total receiving yards. I love that play, but I also like Jamar Chase to have over 82.5 receiving yards. So I'll take Jamar Chase to have more receiving yards than Travis Kelce. Part of the reason Travis Kelce is slightly limited because of that back. I think he's going to play, but I do wonder about his status throughout the course of the game. Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Himothy Him, I love Isaiah Pacheco's over rushing yards today. Again, Pacheco over 50.5 total rushing yards. I love that play today. It's one of my favorite player prop bets of the day. So absolutely check out Isaiah Pacheco over 50.5 total rushing yards. Appreciate you guys joining us, following us, engaging with us. You guys are amazing. Want to say a very big thank you to all of you. You guys are just awesome. We have about 35 minutes left of our show. We've gone about 90 minutes so far. Had a lot of fun. We've answered a lot of questions, but we're here to answer more, so make sure you're throwing them in the chat. And of course, make sure you're like Himothy Him Jr. and make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We're closing in on 40,000 followers on TikTok. Amazing to think how much we've grown over the last 20 weeks of the NFL season. Okay, user 1357 asks for my picks to today's game. Make sure you're listening. I'm going to give out my picks. For the NFC Championship game, the Fumble Sports pick for the NFC Championship game is Philadelphia on the money line. San Francisco to cover 4.5 after I buy 1.5 and under 46.5 points. So one more time, the Fumble Sports pick for the NFC Championship game is Philadelphia on the money line, San Francisco plus 4.5, and under 46.5 points. Again, I like to buy points. Vegas is trying to put me in a tough spot with the odds or spreads that they put out. I want to increase my chances, so I like to buy points. One more time, NFC Championship game, the Fumble Sports pick, Philadelphia on the money line, San Francisco plus 4.5, and under 46.5 points. For the AFC Championship game, the Fumble Sports pick for the AFC Championship game is Cincinnati plus 3.5 after I buy 1.5 and under 49.5 after I buy 1.5. So one more time, the Fumble Sports pick for the AFC Championship game is Cincinnati to cover plus 3.5 and under 49.5 points. By the way, if you want to get all of my picks all in one place, as well as the gambling trends and game notes that go with it, hit the link in our bio. Takes you to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. In that newsletter, you get all of my picks all in one place, including the game notes and gambling trends. So whether you agree with me or disagree, we do the research for you so you're smarter and you cash your tickets. Okay, someone's asking now about all of my player prop bets. Let's go through some of them now. So for the NFC Championship game, I like Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown. I'm getting that at minus 132. I like Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown, plus 125. I like Devontae Smith, over 5.5 receptions. I'm getting that at plus 120. I like Deebo Samuel, over 20.5 rushing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. And I like Christian McCaffrey over 61.5 rushing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. If you want to check out all of my player prop bets all in one place, hit the link in our bio, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, sign up for the free newsletter, as well as check out our blogs. That way you can see all of our picks in one place. Again, one more time, my player prop bets for the NFC Championship game. I like Christian McCaffrey, anytime touchdown, minus 132. He has a touchdown in 8 straight weeks. That's why I like that play. Jalen Hurts, anytime touchdown, plus 125. Hurts has a rushing touchdown in 6 of his last 8 games. That's why I like that bet. Devontae Smith, over 5.5 receptions. I'm getting that at plus 120. He has 6 catches or more in 4 straight games. Deebo Samuel, over 20.5 rushing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. The Eagles allow 121.6 rush yards per game. That's the 17th most in the NFL. I really like that play for that reason. I also like Christian McCaffrey, over 61.5 rushing yards. I'm getting that at minus 115. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at ButtFumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at SportsFumble on Twitter. Tommy Gray says, have you checked out Boom Fantasy Lines? Seem off. So the odds I use, the sports book that I use is Bovada. I'm not endorsing Bovada. They don't pay us, so no endorsement here. But I'm sure the odds are different depending where you look. I also got these odds yesterday, so they might have moved by a yard or two. But I feel very strong. If I like the under or the over, I feel strong about it even by more than a yard or two. Okay, so Vanilla Sports, a very loyal follower, Jay Glazer just announced that Travis Kelce is a game-time decision. I can't see any way Travis Kelce doesn't play in this game. If they have to shoot him up with painkiller, which I fully expect, by the way, I'm not being insensitive, it's a part of the football experience for a player. I expect Travis Kelce is not only going to be on the field, but I think he's going to play the full game. So I know he's dealing with a back injury, but this is the AFC Championship game. I fully expect that Travis Kelce will play in this game, even if Jay Glazer is saying he's a game-time decision. Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at ButtFumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at SportsFumble on Twitter. Dylan Reese, right? I hope Jalen chokes and the rookie shows him up. I hope Chiefs win because I got them at plus 800. Plus 800, that is great odds. I love that play. Rooting for you, Dylan. Hope it goes well. William, good afternoon to you. I just want to say a big hello to all of you. I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. I hope you're so excited for our last full day of NFL football. I know there's a Super Bowl Sunday that comes afterwards, but to me, this is kind of the end of the NFL season in so many ways. It's the last time we're going to get 2 games in one day, and we're going to get, our 7 hours of commercial-free football, except we're going to have commercials today, no doubt. Between the Stalls, appreciate you being a loyal follower. Between the Stalls, I do like Eagles on the money line today. I do like Eagles on the money line. If you want to do another quick poll question, make sure you hit that like button. Once we hit either 16,000 likes rather, we'll do a quick poll. Or if you give us the gift of a football as we try to hit our live goal, we're 2 footballs away from our live goal. If you guys give us a football, we will do a quick poll right away. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. If you have questions about game picks, total plays, or player prop bets, we will do a quick poll. Again, if you give us the gift of a football, we will do another quick poll question. So give us the gift of that football, and we will do another quick poll question. Appreciate that, Jacob is GOAT 1998. Yeah, there we are. We got a football. Yay. One more away. So let's do another quick poll question. Appreciate that. Who gave us that gift? Jacob is the GOAT 1998, one of our most loyal, dedicated followers. Appreciate you, Jacob. You've been awesome this season. Appreciate all of our loyal subscribers and followers. Okay, our next quick poll question for this NFL Championship Sunday. Who will have more... We did that one. Oh, no, we didn't. Who will have more passing yards? Okay, who will have more passing yards in today's game? Who will have more passing yards? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Let's do another quick poll. Here we go. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Let us know what you guys think. Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Let us know what you guys think. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Our quick poll question, which quarterback will have more passing yards? Smiley face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. One more time, smiling face Joe Burrow, crying face Patrick Mahomes. Which quarterback will have more passing yards today? Appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports. Final few seconds, Joe Burrow, smiling face, Patrick Mahomes, crying face. Who will have more passing yards? Final votes. And by one vote, you guys say it's going to be Joe Burrow. I agree with you. I think Joe Burrow is going to have more passing yards. I do like the running games in both of these games. Part of the reason I actually don't like Patrick Mahomes' passing yards is I think Pacheco and Jerick McKinnon in the running game are going to have a bigger role than people expect. But I do like Joe Burrow to have more passing yards than Patrick Mahomes. Again, if you guys want to do another quick poll, just give us the gift of a football. We're trying to hit our live goal. We're one football away, so we'll do that quick poll once we get that fifth football. Vanilla Sports asks thoughts on, duffel bag. You're the man. You're the man. We did it. We hit our live goal. Thank you so much. Woohoo! Nice job. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Before we get to our quick poll, Vanilla Sports asks, what do I think of the Miami Dolphins hiring Vic Fangio as their defensive coordinator? I love that hire. Their defense needs a defensive coordinator. Vic Fangio wasn't a great head coach, but he is an outstanding DC. I think this is a great hire for the Miami Dolphins. Wow, we hit our live goal. Thank you, Duffel Bag. Thank you, Jacob is GOAT 1998. The two of you got us there. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Let's do a quick poll question. Another quick poll question. This one's going to be about a game pick, so curious to know what you guys think. So here's our next quick poll question. Which team will cover the spread today? Which team will cover the spread today will be our next quick poll question. Smiley face for 49ers +3, crying face for Eagles -3. So one more time, our quick poll question, which team will cover the spread? 49ers +3 or Eagles -3. Smiley face for 49ers, crying face for Eagles. Here's our quick poll question. Again, which team will cover the spread? Smiley face for 49ers +3, crying face for Eagles -3. The 49ers are going off at -120. The Eagles are going off at even money. Appreciate you joining us. Make sure you throw in your vote. Which team will cover the spread today? Smiley face if you think the 49ers +3 at -120, or hit the crying face if you think Eagles -3 at even money. Smiley face 49ers +3, crying face Eagles -3. Which team will cover the spread today? Which team will cover the spread? Appreciate you guys joining us, following us, engaging, supporting us. Make sure you vote on this question. Which team will cover the spread today? Smiley face 49ers +3, crying face Eagles -3. Final few seconds of this vote. You guys think it's going to be the Eagles -3. I'm going in the other direction. I think the 49ers will cover. Now, I would buy the 1.5 and I would take 49ers +4.5. But if it's based off of that 3-point spread, I'd rather have the 49ers. I think it's going to be a really close game. I like Eagles on the money line, but I like the 49ers to cover the spread. I appreciate all of you guys joining us. Thank you so much for letting us hit our live goal. It's the first time I've put out a live goal and we've hit it. Awesome. Thank you guys so much for the support. The Fumble Sports community, or as I call them, the buddies. You guys are the best. Appreciate you guys so much. Make sure you hit the link in our bio. Hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter at buttfumblesport. That's buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter that comes out every week with all of our gambling picks, gambling trends, and game notes, all of our research and picks all in one place. And of course, make sure you're subscribing on TikTok. We'll be doing a lot of TikTok lives with our subscribers this week, some exclusive content for them. and subscribe on YouTube. That's Butt Fumble Sports on YouTube. Yoon, thank you so much for sharing the channel and telling those out there about Butt Fumble Sports, whether it's friends, family, or coworkers. We appreciate you telling others that there's a lot of sports talk out there, and Butt Fumble Sports is trying to help them cash tickets. We have about 20 minutes left before we end our show. We've got about an hour and 40 minutes answering all of your questions. By the way, if you want to check out our daily fantasy lineup, don't miss that as well. We've put that out on TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. So make sure you go to our Instagram account at ButtFumbleSports. Check out our DFS lineup. On YouTube, you can see it up on the screen now. But our DFS lineup for the day, this is the DFS lineup that we built for the Championship Sunday. At quarterback, we're going with Joe Burrow. I like Joe Burrow at quarterback for DFS. At running back, I like Joe Mixon and Isaiah Pacheco. Our two running backs for DFS are Mixon and Pacheco. Our three wide receivers in daily fantasy for today, no obvious plays here, are Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Deebo Samuel. Again, our wide receivers in DFS are Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, and Deebo Samuel. Our tight end for our daily fantasy lineup, I'm going with Hayden Hurst. I like Hayden Hurst as my tight end. And at the flex position, I'm going to go with George Kittle. So that's Hayden Hurst at our tight end position, George Kittle at the flex, and our defense for our daily fantasy lineup is the Philadelphia Eagles. So one more time, the Butt Fumble Sports daily fantasy lineup for today is quarterback Burrow, running back Mixon and Pacheco, wide receiver Chase, Devontae Smith, and Deebo Samuel. At tight end, we like Hayden Hurst. At the flex, we like George Kittle. And at defense and special teams, we like the Philadelphia Eagles. If you want to check out that DFS lineup, go to our Instagram account at ButtFumbleSports. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, following us, and subscribing with us. This is an unbelievable community that you guys represent. You guys are the absolute best. Duffel Bag, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for your loyalty all year. I hope you have a great Sunday of NFL action. Appreciate you. We'll see you later, Duffel Bag. But for all of those who continue to join us right up until kickoff, continue to hit that like button. Once we hit 16,000 likes, we will do one more quick poll question for the day. And make sure you're following and subscribing at Butt Fumble Sports. Answering all of your football questions for this Championship Sunday, whether it's game picks, total plays, or player prop bets, we're here to answer all of your questions. About 15 minutes left of our show, so make sure you're throwing in your questions. If you have last-minute questions about daily fantasy, player prop bets, or game picks, we're here to answer all of your questions, so make sure you're hitting that like button and throw your questions in the chat. Want to give a big shout out to the Butt Fumble Sports production team. Blease, an absolutely outstanding teammate in this. Also want to shout out Alex Hallmark, Kyle Phelps, Taylor Doganary, Junior, Victor, Stephanie. There are so many people behind the scenes that make this possible. You would be amazed to know how many people it takes to run a sports content network. So appreciate the support of the Butt Fumble Sports team. Big shout out to all of you guys. For all of those loyal followers out there, make sure you're throwing your questions in the chat. Game pick questions, total play questions, or player prop bet questions. We're here for just a few more minutes, so make sure you're throwing your questions in the chat. Here to answer all of them before the NFC Championship game kicks off. Again, one more time, I'm going to hand out my picks for these games today. For the NFC Championship game, I like Eagles on the money line, San Francisco at plus 4.5, and the under 46.5. For the AFC Championship game, I like Bengals to cover plus 3.5, and I like the under 49.5. I appreciate all of you joining us. Make sure you follow us at Butt Fumble Sports. Hit that follow button. That way you know every time we go live. And of course, you can check out my rant videos after these games go final. You won't want to miss those. So I put out a rant video about what's going down in sports, and I put out a rant video after every game goes final in the NFL. So I'll put out a rant video about each team. You'll want to hear my reactions. I guarantee you won't want to miss those. So check us out at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. We have some people asking about weather reports in the NFL. So a website that I want to recommend, this isn't an endorsement, but I'm a big fan of this website, is NFLweather.com. You can check out the weather for not just kickoff, but for each quarter of the game. In the 49ers-Eagles game, it's supposed to feel like 51 degrees, so a pretty warm day in Philadelphia. A little bit of drizzle maybe in the first, second quarter, but this is a game that should be played under overcast skies, under overcast skies, but should be a pretty dry game, maybe a little bit of drizzle in the second quarter. As for that Chiefs-Bengals game, that game is going to be colder. It should feel like 22 degrees and get progressively colder as the game goes along. Under 20 degrees, should feel like it's 6 degrees by the end of that game. So Joe Burrow will certainly be feeling the cool of this one, but I'm not expecting any Make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. We're actually going to jump off a little bit early today. A couple of things that we've got to take care of here at the Fumble Sports end of things. So appreciate all of you joining us. You guys have been unbelievable this season. This is going to be 21 weeks of NFL action that we've been covering, that we've been accompanying. You guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you guys so much for your support. Make sure you follow us at Fumble Sports on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and at Sports Fumble on Twitter. Make sure you're following us. Make sure you're a part of this incredible community. And of course, hit the link in our bio. It takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Sign up for the free newsletter. You get all of my game picks all in one place, as well as all of my research, the gambling trends and game notes that go into it. So make sure you're following us at Fumble Sports. Hit the link in our bio. Go sign up for that free newsletter. That said, it was a wonderful show, an hour and 45 minutes. So appreciate all of you guys joining us. This is an unbelievable community. We're so grateful for all of the support you guys show us. Good luck today. Enjoy a great day of NFL football. Make sure you're following